Peace and love. It's good to be here with you again. We're going to go ahead and get started. Guys, by the way, my name is Jewel. I don't know if I introduced myself enough on my channel, but my name is Jewel, and I am the Compassionate Oracle. And today we're going to do a Sunday Soul session, a Sunday Soul reading, using the Tao Oracle and the Osho Zen. These are my two favorites to use for deep spiritual work. So give me a moment as I shuffle the cards. I hope you all have been doing well. I hope you all are prospering and growing and healing. All right. Thank you, Spirit, for another day of life. Thank you, Ancestors, for your courage, for your movement forward, your vision. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, angels, for your protection. Thank you, Most High, for the gift of life. Spirit, what messages do you have for us today as we continuously work and move towards our higher purpose, as we can continue to work and move towards ascension? What messages do you have for us? Thank you, angels. Spirit, what do you need us to know right here and right now on our healing journeys? All right, let's see. Relate to. So, currently things are at a standstill. Let's see here. Spirit is asking us to be gentle with ourselves, gentle with our circumstances, our environment, but mainly the self, okay? Keeping still. So it says meditation, self-renewal, composure, detachment, self-acceptance, equanimity, and serenity. So these are hard cards to come out. This is the Hangman energy in tarot. This is telling us that we are on the right path, but maybe adjustments need to be made. Maybe things haven't gone as quickly as we want them to. Obviously, they haven't because we're at a standstill. Some of us could be out of touch with others that we need to connect with. Some of us can be out of touch with ourselves, and we need to make readjustments there spiritually. Spirit is saying that when we go through transitions like this, which are transition non-transitions, which means it's movement, but it doesn't feel like it's movement. It's growth that doesn't feel like growth. It's evolution that doesn't feel like we're evolving. But Spirit is saying that these moments, and I will say and speak for my own experience, these moments are extremely difficult. When you don't see your way forward or you don't see the movement forward, you're asked to be gentle with yourself. Spirit says, keep still. As you keep still, and this is the Osho Zen, as you keep still, things will be revealed to you in time. And I know that's not always wonderful to hear, but it's the truth of it all, especially for those of us who are on the spiritual path. We're spiritual warriors where there's moments of movement, there's moments of swift action, and then there's moments of stillness and moments where we have to calm the body, calm the mind, and rejuvenate. And sometimes look at where we are spiritually and see, how do I need to make those adjustments? Angels, tell me about this standstill and this keeping still energy and this gentle, which says penetrating, a soft approach, faith, moderation, subtle but deep influence, understanding, and non-violence. Tell me about this energy. Why is this heavy for us? Or why is this important for us right now to keep still? What's happening? We all realize too, especially if you're in the U.S., that there's a lot happening around us politically. So we're asked to keep still with that, not allow ourselves to be overtaken with emotions, okay? Making sure that we are not being fearful, okay? All right, so let's see. So we have the rebel. So this is the natural nature, okay, of the person. I know this is somewhat my natural nature. So this is the natural nature, wanting to break those chains, wanting to light that fire, wanting to blaze that path and move forward. This is swift, powerful movement here with the rebel energy, okay? It's not time for that necessarily right now, but this is who you are. Spirit is saying to remain still. Maturity. So maybe we need to get more information. Maybe there's something that we need to come across. Maybe there's some facts that we don't know. Maybe we need to divine intuitively. We need to go inside intuitively and figure out what's happening, what's coming about, okay? So, and then we have the creativity. All right, so these are beautiful energies here on top of the standstill and the gentle. So maybe we're in a period of creativity, okay? Sometimes in those creative spaces, we have to remain still. We have to go within. It's not a lot of movement. And then it says integration. So, integrating the spirit here and integrating the worldly as well. So bringing it from the higher knowledge right now to the physical plane where you can execute it properly. So that's also the integration, integrating the masculine and the feminine energy here, okay? This can also be a relationship because we have the masculine and feminine energy here with the rebel, the maturity. We can have two people that are at a standstill, okay? Wanting to come together, or two energies wanting to come together. The practical and the softer side or the intuitive side coming together to bring about a creation that can be birthed here on the physical plane. Let's see, we have integration. Spirit is saying that, let's look underneath. Spirit is saying that there's changes happening, okay? Changes happening that we can't see. We realize that the wheel isn't spinning as fast as we want it to, but it's still spinning nonetheless. Underneath that, completion. So we're waiting to find that last puzzle piece, okay? Once we create and once we find that last puzzle piece, once we put down that last brush stroke, once we lay down that last note, if it's a song, once we write that last stanza or verse, it's just me using these words, but just so you understand that when we're done with creating, when we've moved into that space of keeping still, when we've allowed our creativity to shine in that stillness, when we've been gentle with ourselves in our creations, and that's the key as well. In order to birth them into fruition, we have to be gentle with our creations, okay? We can't down the things that we're working on. We have to have faith in them. And if they're not going exactly the way we want them to go, we need to find this stillness and we need to maybe reevaluate, okay? Reevaluate not necessarily the vision itself, but how we go about executing the vision, all right? Over here, making sure that we are connecting with the right people here with companionships, all right? Not dealing with people that'll bring about a limited mindset. We want to make sure that we're not doing that and that we're not limiting ourselves as well. But also, this one says self discipline, practice, and self respect. So, making sure that we are diligent when it comes to our creations, diligent when it comes to our spiritual work, that we're performing those rituals, okay? And that we're also being patient. Spirit says that there will be an increase, okay? Reaping the rewards and overflow in time. But then under here we have the marrying maiden, but this is also like the Eight of Swords energy to me, a compromising situation. So we might be in a space where movement isn't necessarily an option, but we've talked about it on this channel where movement doesn't have to be of a physical nature. Movement is spiritual. Movement can be of the mind. We can move mountains in our minds just with our thoughts and our ideas, okay? So no matter where you are physically, the physical part, okay, if you feel like you're in chains, if you feel like you're bound by difficult circumstances, this will be the Eight of Swords, the Ten of Wands energy. If you're dealing with people, because we saw the companionship card come up, if you're dealing with people who have limiting beliefs and you're falling victim to that as well with those thoughts, you can't necessarily move. We all have the ability to move, but life isn't easy like that for some, okay? Let's be realistic. Sometimes we have to truly work ourselves out of situations. And before we get to work ourselves out of the situation physically, we have to work it out spiritually, all right? Once we start to work ourselves out of those situations spiritually, then those chains start to fall away. If we haven't addressed it spiritually, if we haven't addressed it emotionally, and so the spiritual body is the emotional body, okay? If we haven't addressed it on those levels, we're not going to find ways to implement those changes that we need, right? Gathering together, I just want to show this one was right underneath it. Calling on your ancestors, okay? Sometimes spiritually, that's all you can do. Working with your great grandmother, working with your great grandfather, the ones that are in the spiritual realm. Spirit, I'm having difficulty getting out of the situation. I know what I need to do. I know where I need to go. I know what it would take for me to create the type of vision that I want for my life. I know what it would be, what it would feel like to manifest my highest dreams and my highest hopes, and what it would feel like when my creativity has the wings, when my creativity has the voice. I know what that feels like. I can feel it in my body. I can feel it in my heart. I can feel it in my spirit. How can you help me remove those obstacles? I am willing to walk in the way that you want me to walk. I'm willing to open my mind in a way that you would have me open up my mind. Spirit, be with me here today and guide me. I am humble, I'm willing, I'm light as a feather, okay? So we've talked about this on this channel. Allowing spirit to move you is allowing yourself to be light, okay? It's a light body energy. Um, if you have people around you that are negative, what can you do to remove yourself? Maybe not physically, but you can remove yourself emotionally in a way. It takes practice to do it. Meditation is a way. But once you start lightening up the body, which is the shoulders, the back, removing those bricks, removing those logs, those burdens, and a lot of times those are things placed on you by other people, removing those things away from you and allowing your lightness of body to shine through. When you're able to do that, you move out of a place of opposition here, okay? You move out of a place of opposition, whether it's opposition with yourself or opposition with those that you find yourself in companionship with, or those people or those environments that you're in. You say, Spirit, let's hold together, holding together with you, because I trust that you have my best interest at heart, okay? I'm gonna pull this one. A lot of times, when I pull cards, guys, they tell stories. When I shuffle them, I'm speaking to the cards. I'm really speaking to spirit. I'm a medium, so I work with spiritual energies. I work with my ancestors. But I lay the cards in a certain way, or the cards are laid for me that I can pull up any of them, and the story will be continued because there's always more to it. But there's a deepness here, and there's a need for courage in whatever situation you're in here with the well. Um, Diving into the unknown, diving without the burdens. This particular figure is naked, so removing all the heaviness, okay? Going in as light as you can, plunging into the deep and into the dark, not knowing what you'll see underneath it. But this takes courage. But you can't do this with people who oppose you. You can't do this with people who don't have the same type of spiritual or belief in power that you do. If you're dealing with those that have limiting beliefs. Also, really quickly, last one I'm going to pull from here, the receptive energy. This here is a pregnant belly. So let it rest. The gestation phase. Let the creativity or let the creation rest right now. As you're figuring out how you move forward, it's not the time to share with those you don't trust. It's not the time to share with those who want to ultimately hurt you and keep you in a certain space. They don't want to see your growth because they're not in a position where they're able to grow. A lot of times, people like that, they don't even understand true growth in a spiritual sense, okay? It takes a lot to get to where we are, where we're thinking about our spirituality in these terms, where we've put this above everything in our lives, okay? And if you're dealing with people who don't operate in that manner, they're not going to necessarily see your vision, okay? And it's going to be the opposite that's true. It's going to be a lot of, why are you doing this? What are you thinking? What do you want to accomplish with this? What about me? Those type of energies, okay? When you're working with spirit and you're a true spiritual worker, You care deeply about yourself. You care deeply about your ancestors. And you care deeply about the spirit, which is the soul, which is the ascension. Where am I going from here? How am I going from here? Okay? How am I lifting up my spiritual body? It takes work to get into that mindset or that mode. It's not necessarily natural. It doesn't come natural for all. It's a work. It's work in progress. Okay? So let's see what else. So we see here again with courage, Spirit is saying that right now it might take some time to push ourselves to that concrete, but when we're ready, when we're listening to our spiritual body, when we're listening to our solar plexus chakra, when we're checking in with the third eye and the higher self, all right, the crown, we're able to know when the time is right, when we're able to push through these heavy, dense energies, and we'll make our way out to reach the sun. Okay. That's where the celebration occurs, okay? Celebrating with those in the spiritual family, on the physical plane here that you found, true partnerships, true loves, okay? People that you're meant to connect with to move forward with on the journey. Not only are you connecting with those and celebrating with those in the spiritual plane, this is also my ancestral celebration card. So your ancestors are also celebrating with you as well. Experiencing. That's the key to it all. That's the key to this keeping still energy. That's the key to the standstill energy as well. That's the key to this gentle energy. Ones that we feel uncomfortable with, especially with the standstill and the keeping still, and remaining gentle with ourselves in that process. We don't understand the full journey. We're not able to bring it into life, to bring it into being without the experiencing. So experiencing the heaviness of it all, okay? Processing that energy, experiencing the hardship, experiencing the negative connections. I know that seems strange, but if you don't experience the negative connections, you're not going to understand the positive ones, correct? So experiencing those negative connections, is this right for my spirit? You don't know if it's right for your spirit unless you feel them. Feeling those connections, feeling those confined spaces, experiencing every bit of it, even if it's uncomfortable, even if you cry, even if you have trouble functioning, even if you have trouble coming out of that headspace, but still experiencing it for your spiritual growth, for your ascension, and to slowly remove the bricks off your back. Okay? If we don't feel the weight of the bricks, we don't know how to remove them. We don't even know they're there. You lighten and you move in a spiritual manner in a way that you're able to feel anything that's hindering you, anything that's heavy on your physical and spiritual body. The people who are out here and they don't understand the spirituality and spiritual movement. They treat people any kind of way. They live their lives any kind of way. They have no remorse. They have no empathy or sympathy. They can have 1,000 bricks on their backs, which are the burdens that they've created by treating others any kind of way. These are spiritual exchanges, right? And so they can have 1,000 bricks on their backs, but they won't feel it, right? They won't feel it. Or if they feel it, they use it to blame others for it. And they never hold themselves accountable for it. So we never want to be in that space where we don't experience, where we don't feel the heaviness of life, where we don't feel the rough circumstances of life, because that's how the spiritual warrior is able to burst through them and move through them. All right, moving into true love, union with a partner, with that spiritual partnership, that person that you're meant to move on that same frequency with. You're both moving to the same beat, the same rhythm. You both have the same mission, which is true love of life, respect for humanity, respect for the spiritual realm, respect for the Most High. And we do that by honoring our ancestors, right? but also mainly before the true love connections with others, the true love connection with the self, the integrating of the masculine and feminine energy, the integration of spiritual body and the physical, okay? Bringing the vision into life, bringing the vision into plain speak or physical body or where it's tangible and we can touch it with our hands, we can see it with our eyes. That's the love, okay? When you truly are happy with what you have created. We've talked about this a million times, especially when it comes to creations that you feel that money should be involved and that should be the exchange. Changing your mindset from the worldly exchanges that have been told to us and with the lightness of the removal of the heaviness of the physical world and of the immoral world at times, okay? That's the exchange. How can we turn our monetary value into a spiritual value? How can we put those spiritual checks into our accounts, those spiritual checks into our wallets, those spiritual checks into our hearts and say that I am rich beyond measure. I am fruitful. I am able to create, okay? I am able to create freely. I am able to create being who I am in all my essence with my voice, with my right mind, with my right heart, without being burdened by the thoughts, the desires, or ideas of others, walking with one foot in front of the other, okay? Holding the hand of my ancestors, for me, my mother, my grandmother, grandfather, and so on, and asking them, because remember what we talk about here, they have a different vision. They can see, not vision as far as we all are going the same direction. They want, what I want for me is what they want for me. But as far as vision, meaning line of sight, they see things differently than we can see them. They see the obstacles. They see the clear path. And so can I give them my hand, right? Can I give them my hand and allow them to walk gently with me as if I am a baby or a child and you're learning how to walk for the first time and you're holding your mother's hands for those who held their father's hands and you're allowing them to guide you as you get steady on your feet. Can we be brave enough to let go? All right. In the Christian tradition, and I grew up there with my grandmother, let go and let God, that type of energy. Okay. And so if you don't deal or you don't use that type of language, but if you believe in a higher power, I hope you do. You know, if you don't, you believe in something. You can believe in Mother Earth. You can believe in just life in forms, all forms, okay? So however you find that spirituality speaks to you and through you, that's how you connect with these gifts. That's how you connect with your creativity. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna pull a couple of crystals. I'm just gonna pull one to see what I get. Maybe two things here. All right. So we have a sodalite heart, and we just have a piece of amethyst, if you can see here. So being truthful. Okay. Anytime we're dealing with the color blue, I always automatically go towards the throat chakra. But speaking your truth is speaking from your heart. All right? Being on a spiritual path, being a spiritual warrior is being truthful at all times. Even when it's uncomfortable for you, even when it's uncomfortable for others, if you have to move yourself out of a certain situation, you utilize your heart chakra and you speak it to yourself first. This isn't right for me. I know it's right for me. I know where I want to be. I know where I see myself. You speaking to yourself first. Before you can speak to others, you speak to yourself. You speak the truth in your heart. You speak it to you. You speak it back. And then you say, ancestors, guides, help me speak my truth without fear. Help me speak my truth without burdens. Allow me to walk powerfully into the unknown, okay? Truly as myself, truly utilizing my mind at its highest point, okay? That's this energy. Allow me to access my heart chakra. If that's the case, okay? I'm going to put it right here on this heart. Allow me to, maybe we're at this phase. Allow me to know what's true for my heart. Maybe you haven't figured it out yet. Your ancestors can help you with that as well. But it requires the gentleness and it requires the keeping still, okay? Until you understand the truth of your heart, you will always be in opposition with yourself. It'll always be a feeling of alienation, a stalemate, stagnation, withholding, grinding to a halt, insensitivity, and mistrust. Okay? Because we can mistrust ourselves. All right? Of course, we can mistrust those around us, but we can mistrust ourselves if we're not utilizing our hearts properly. Spirit, allow me to know what the truth of my heart is. Okay? Once you know what the truth of your heart is, be courageous, okay? Move forward with your vision. Accessing your intuition here with the amethyst. Also, amethyst deals with addictions, okay? Overcoming any addictions that you may have. Addictions can be anything, guys. It doesn't have to be drugs. It doesn't have to be alcohol. It could be the desire for more. It could be codependency, being in relationships that you know aren't healthy for you because it's easy to do so. Afraid of leaving others because you're afraid of what's going to happen to them. When you need to put their hearts and their minds into spirit, okay? Put into spirit's hands. Thank you, angels, for the opportunity to have learned from this experience. If you're dealing with a person, thank you for the chance to have known this person, okay? I've learned a lot. I need to move towards my spiritual path. I need to move towards the truth in my heart. Please, angels and ancestors, okay? Come into this person's heart and help them find what's right for them, okay? When you've put that prayer or that answer out, you've made a call to your ancestors, you've made a call to theirs, you can say, with love, okay? You walk away with love in your heart, and you walk away knowing that you've done all that you can, okay? And so, utilizing our intuition, allowing spirit to be the answer, allowing the higher self to propel us forward, allowing that to be the knowledge that we're seeking, removing ourselves from any addictions, any addictive environments, okay? And also when it comes to our spiritual work, the desire to be seen by others, the desire to have all the money because we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. Newsflash, the Most High might not give rewards and monetary value, and we just talked about that. But I always like to reiterate it, not just for you, but for me as well. Okay, so removing those worldly ideas on how we see the tangible rewards of our creations. Okay. So that's all for today. It was beautiful talking with you. I have a better setup now, finally. So hopefully I can get on a regular basis with my readings. I do the readings for you all, but I do them for me as well because I'm also walking with faith, spirit, and then also, guys, my ancestors have made it my mission to be on here. It's a part of my spiritual work to be on here. And so if I'm not on here, if I'm not doing this type of work in some manner that I'm being told through dream state, I'm being told through this energy here, stand still. Stand still can also be spiritual. If you're not feeling happy with your spirit, if you're not feeling happy with yourself, if you're not living up to your true essence, then that's this energy here, stand still. So when I find those blockages in my life, my ancestors come to me in dream state. They come to me in waking state, and they tell me that I need to use my voice, and that's why I'm here doing it. I don't have a lot of people that view this channel, but if you come across my videos, and if you found something of healing in them, please continue to, please consider subscribing because it would help me move forward. But even still, I'm supposed to be here. They have told me so. All right, so sending love to you and positivity, and we'll meet again.